Alright, fellow hunters, well, time to take a look at the final episode review for a while, and that episode's going to be Malleus Maleficarum. So, let's take a look at it. After arriving home from a party, a woman, Janet Denon, starts brushing her teeth, only to have them start falling out. Panicking, she screams for her husband Paul, but the door slams shut and he can't get in. Soon after, Paul finds her dead on the bathroom floor. Posing as investigators from the Centers for Disease Control, Sam and Dean interview Paul and search the house. Dean suspects Paul is lying about something, and Sam finds a hex bag hidden in the bathroom, indicating a witch was involved. That night, a woman, Amanda Burns, casts a spell on Paul Denon nearly dies while eating a burger in his car that becomes infested with maggots. He's saved when Sam and Dean arrive and burn a hex bag they find in the car. When the spell unexpectedly ends, Amanda panics before being attacked by a mysterious force that slashes her wrists and causing her to bleed to death. At the same time, Paul admits he had an affair with Amanda, which he had ended the previous week against her wishes. When Sam and Dean arrive at her home, they find her dead, surrounded by the paraphernalia of witchcraft. Elsewhere in the town, three of Amanda's neighbors, Tammy Fenton, Elizabeth Higgins, and Renee Van Allen, meet under the guise of a book club, but it soon becomes apparent that they are practicing witchcraft. The next day, Sam and Dean interview the women and, while they don't learn much, research shows that a couple of the women have lately had a run of successes and windfalls. Sam suggests they have to kill the women as they're using dark magic and have murdered. As they head their way back to the motel, the Apollo is stopped when Ruby appears on the road. She tells them that a demon is in town, controlling the witches, and that the demon will come after Sam. She advises them to leave immediately. Dean argues that they should listen to her and address the cult, but Sam stops Dean just as he tries to shoot Ruby, who vanishes. At the motel, Dean questions Sam as to why he's no longer concerned over taking human life. Sam admits he's trying to be more like Dean, to prepare himself for dealing with the demon war after Dean is dead. Suddenly, Dean feels intense pain and starts vomiting blood. The suspect is a spell caused by the coven. Unable to find Hex Bag, Sam grabs the cult and takes off to confront the women. At the house, they deny all knowledge of what's happening to Dean, until Tammy reveals herself to be a demon, killing Renee. Back at the motel, Ruby arrives and doses Dean with a potion that saves him. Sam tries to shoot Tammy with the Colt, but she stops the bullet in midair, and then uses her power to pin Sam to the wall. She tells him that a new leader has arisen to lead the demons, and that he wants Sam eliminated. Dean arrives, but is also attacked by Tammy. When Ruby appears, she pretends she has led the Winchesters to Tammy in order to gain her favor, but then tries to kill Tammy with her knife. Tammy overpowers Ruby, and reveals that Ruby was once the witch who sold her soul to a demon, Tammy. Just as Tammy is about to kill Ruby, Elizabeth starts a spell. Though Tammy kills her, she's distracted long enough for Dean to grab Ruby's knife and kills her. Later that night, Ruby visits Dean and admits that she can't save him from hell. She tells him all demons were human once, but that hell strips away their identity. She just tells Dean that the same will happen to him and that there's no way to stop him from going to hell. She says she wants to help prepare Sam to fight the demons after Dean is gone. Ruby retains in memory what it was to be human and wants to fight on the side of humanity. Not sure I believe that. But anyway. So let's take a look at some continuity surrounding this episode. Though this isn't the first time witchcraft is seen being used, it does mark the introduction of human witches. The main antagonist of the third and fourth season, Lilith, is referenced by Astaroth. Demons are revealed to be corrupted versions of human souls through torture in hell. This is the first time Dean actually sees Ruby in person, although they've been in the same place at the same time before in the Magnificent Seven and Sin City. When Dean sarcastically says, "So the devil may care after all," to Ruby at the end of the episode, she quickly replies, "I don't believe in the devil," referencing the demon's belief in Satan as their god, first shown in Sin City. The next season's finale, Lucifer Rising, revealed that Ruby's goal in aiding the Winchesters all along was in fact part of a ploy to free Lucifer from his imprisonment in hell. And now finally, let's take a look at some trivia about this episode. Before it aired, this episode was initially titled Witch Hunt. It was also supposed to feature a demon framing a group of innocent women as witches to have them murdered, but this idea was dropped because it was too similar to the plot of the previous Season 3 episode Sin City. The title of this episode, Malleus Maleficarum, meaning Hammer of the Witches, is the title of a book first published in 1486, which basically served as the Inquisitor's how-to manual of identifying and destroying witches during the Inquisition. The episode commences with a series of cutting back and forth from the time Amanda sexing Janet to when Janet's brushing her teeth. Evidently, Amanda's plan was successful. She managed to kill Janet. However, there was a simple mistake. Amanda hexed a blue toothbrush, but Janet brushed her teeth with a red toothbrush. Whoopsies! This episode is widely regarded as a spoof of the TV series Charmed, which shares some similarities to Supernatural in the sense that both feature siblings battling paranormal forces of evil. The witches in this episode have a book of shadows just like the Charmed ones. Also, the German dub of Malleus Maleficarum even features the witches being voiced by the same voice actresses who voiced Charmed lead protagonists Piper and Phoebe Halliwell and Paige Matthews. Sam and Dean's agent names Bachman and Turner refer to the band Bachman-Turner Overdrive. When Amanda flips through a book in a panic after failing to kill Paul, some of the text is in Irish. A lot of it seems to be taken from the Irish translation of the Christian Lord's Prayer, although the wording has been altered quite a bit in some of the lines. Examples include, and I'm sorry if I butchered the pronunciation of these words, Ar in ather atar ado riocht, our Father who art in your kingdom, and Aksar sin o olk, but deliver us from evil. Sam's research folder on the Coven includes a copy of the Sherwood Community newspaper, seen as he and Dean are traveling the Apollo just after meeting them, in which a piece about Renee Van Allen is featured in a section titled Craft Corner with Liz Goldwyn. Liz Goldwyn was an assistant art director on Supernatural from 2006 to 2009. There's a reference to Detective Magnum in this episode. So overall, I think this episode is kind of interesting. Oh, by the way, fun fact, the character of Elizabeth Higgins is played by none other than Erin Cahill, a.k.a. Jen, the Pink Ranger from Power Rangers Time Force. Yeah, I ain't kidding. So, yeah. So, overall, I think this episode is kind of interesting, and yeah, it's also kind of interesting that we learn a little bit more about Ruby's backstory and stuff, so yeah. So overall, I give Malleus Maleficarum 3 Impalas out of 5. Anyway, tune in after my lunchtime as we do the next episode, Dream a Little Dream of Me. So, until then, carry on, my wayward sons and daughters.